In a win for U.S. President Joe Biden, U.S. lawmakers on Friday passed a massive healthcare and climate spending package, an extensive bill that aims to combat climate change, extend healthcare coverage and raise taxes on corporations. The move came after the Senate last week approved the $430 billion legislation after a marathon 27-hour session. The legislation, which has now been sent to President Joe Biden's desk for his signature,
make good on our promise to take on climate change and climate justice.
Meanwhile, the legislation, which has now been sent to President Biden's desk for his signature, is a major victory for Democrats ahead of the November midterm elections. U.S. lawmakers passed the legislation with a 220 to 207 vote. The passage of the bill comes after nearly a year of negotiations between Democrats and Republicans. U.S. President Joe Biden, meanwhile, lauded the passing of the bill while hitting out other Republican lawmakers that voted against the legislation. Listen in.
Debating what Democrats.
Those that are paying $0 in federal income tax will now have to pay a minimum tax. And America is going to take the most aggressive action we've ever taken in confronting the climate crisis and strengthening the energy security of America and the world, quite frankly. Big drug companies, they spent nearly $100 million to try to defeat this bill. And yet every Republican in the Congress voted against the bill. Every single Republican. Against lower prescription drug prices, against lower health care costs, against a fairer tax system, against tackling the climate crisis, lower energy costs, and good-paying jobs. And by the way, in the process, we reduced the deficit as well. This is a historic moment. The Democrats sided with the American people, and the Republicans sided with special interests.
The bill known as the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 secures the largest ever investment to tackle climate change, with roughly $370 billion dedicated to curbing harmful emissions and promoting green technology. It also aims to slash the greenhouse gas emissions around 40% by 2030. Along with measures to combat the climate crisis, the bill will also aim to lower prescription drug costs, raise taxes on some billion-dollar corporations and reduce the federal deficit. The bill has been more than 18 months in the making. It represents a final version of Biden's original sweeping Build Back Better plan, which had to be whittled down in the face of opposition from Republicans and key lawmakers from within his own party.
To take on climate change and climate justice.
That people on Medicare with diabetes won't have to pay.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.